Pass it back, but don't look back.
Look at me when you give me something, convict.
I said, don't look back.
I said, look at me.
The story begins with a young woman named Kelly, who has been patiently waiting for her boyfriend Ray to return home after spending several months serving in the military. The moment finally arrives, and Ray surprises her with a heartfelt marriage proposal. Overwhelmed with joy, Kelly happily accepts, believing the hardest part of their lives is finally behind them. But their happiness is cut short when a reckless young man named Tim, the arrogant son of one of Australia's wealthiest businessmen, pulls up and begins harassing Kelly with disrespectful remarks. Ray tries to ignore the insults at first, hoping to avoid unnecessary trouble, but when Tim refuses to back down and the confrontation quickly turns violent, a single decision changes everything. In the blink of an eye, what should have been the happiest day of Ray's life becomes the beginning of a nightmare that will push him into a world far more dangerous than the battlefield he just left behind. Ray Marsh was a decorated war hero, but after a tragic encounter while protecting his fiancée, he accidentally caused the death of Tim, the son of Australia's most powerful billionaire Warren Sterling. He was sentenced to 18 months inside Parramatta Jail, widely known as the most brutal, lawless death trap in the country. Ray thought he was just serving time, but he had no idea he was walking into a coffin. The moment he arrived, the air turned ice cold. Warren Sterling had used his infinite wealth to buy the prison's soul, making a backroom deal with the head of the prison, the Warden, to ensure Ray would never leave those walls alive. Sterling didn't just want justice, he wanted a slow, agonizing execution. The bribe was massive, handed over in a heavy black briefcase to the Warden, who in turn split the blood money with his lead guard, Rico, and a small circle of corrupt officers. Ray was now a target in a kill zone where every guard was a paid assassin. The intensity in the cell block was suffocating. Ray was thrown into the yard, surrounded by rival gangs and guards who were instructed to provoke him until he snapped. But Ray was a soldier, he didn't break. He held his ground, but the Warden grew impatient. He ordered Rico to orchestrate an accident. They started by cutting off Ray's visits with his fiancée, Kelly, then escalated to brutal beatings in the dead of night. The breaking point arrived when the Warden decided to end the project early. He sent Rico and 2 other guards to lead Ray into a blind spot in the medical corridor, intending to stab him and report it as a prison fight. As Rico drew his shiv, he sneered, "Sterling wants his pound of flesh, and tonight, you're paying in full." But Ray, on every ounce of his combat training, turned the trap inside out. He disarmed Rico in a lightning-fast strike. Just as Ray was about to inflict even more harm on Rico, Officer Miller suddenly stepped in and forcefully separated the two. Realizing the Warden was the one orchestrating everything, Officer Miller immediately confronted him in anger.
You ordered Ray to be taken into the metal shop.
That surprises you?
Why would a prisoner due for release in a
You
few
come
weeks?
into my office, what, unannounced, questioning me? You forget your place. I'm the boss here.
But unfortunately for Ray, it was all a devastating trap. He was being buried alive in a soundproof isolation cell, a concrete tomb designed to shatter the strongest human spirit. The plan was simple: leave him in total suffocating darkness until he turned into a ghost of the man he once was. Months bled into a singular, agonizing nightmare. Every day, Rico and his sadistic crew would storm into his cell not to talk, but to break his bones and mock him, reminding him that the outside world had forgotten he existed. Then, when the darkness had almost swallowed him whole, a young guard, who had been transferred to the wing and knew nothing of the blood money contract, unlocked the heavy door. He looked at Ray, this shivering, gaunt shadow of a man. After pulling Ray out of the room, the officer began questioning him about the torture he had endured. Fortunately, Ray remembered hearing Rico mention Sterling's plan to have him killed. Although they had locked him in a dark room to keep him from exposing the truth or revealing what he had overheard, Ray managed to hold on to that crucial information. Meanwhile, the Warden grew even more furious as his entire plan slowly began to unravel. He knew that once Ray was released, everything could be exposed. But before the Warden could act, Officer Miller had already set his own plan in motion as Ray was
Always
summoned to
get
the
my
Warden's
man
office.
right.
At what cost?
I got paid a lot of money to make your stay as uncomfortable as possible. In here, on God, you're gonna be begging me for forgiveness.
I don't beg. You get all that?
Unbeknownst to the Warden, he had been walking straight into a setup. Within moments, he and every corrupt officer involved were placed under arrest. Not long after, Tim Father, the powerful businessman who had paid to have Ray eliminated behind bars, was also arrested for his role in the conspiracy. After everything he had endured, Ray finally regained his freedom and was reunited with Kelly. In the end, this movie reminds us that greed and corruption always come at a price. If the Warden and his officers had refused the bribe and chosen to uphold the law instead of selling their integrity, none of them would have ended up behind bars. If you enjoyed this breakdown and the lessons we uncover from every movie, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching, and see you in our next video.